Okay, so guys, I'm going to record this little audio clip right here and see if it actually fucking works. Because earlier, I used a different microphone and it sounded like shit.
Hello and welcome to the Cavern of Terror.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Cavern of Terror, and today we're going to talk about 4 horror movies that I actually like. Before we get into that, guys, I have 2 things that I need to talk about. The first thing I'm going to talk about right now is the Studio House Designs Wes Craven t-shirt. It is a VHS stack of a lot of his horror movies, and I think that it is fucking dope. It is from a website and company called Studio House Designs. These guys are very, very talented at what they do. They do all kinds of different things. They do a lot of different VHS stacked t-shirts. They do posters. They do metal printings. They do all kinds of really cool stuff. So if you want to get yourself a shirt like this, I don't know if this is still available, but it is badass. You can get yourself something similar. Head over to their shop and get yourself some of their products. I will put the link to their store in the description box down below. The next thing I want to talk about is earlier tonight I took part in a Scream stream. You know, the boys, Drum Dums, Cody Leach, Brian Lomax Movie Talk, Willis Screedia. I was over there with them earlier tonight, and we were doing a tribute to Dylan Clancy, a close friend of ours that actually passed away earlier this month. It should have been a somber time, but it actually wasn't. It was actually a good time remembering him and talking about things that he likes. If you wanted to go over there and watch that video and hear us talk about Dylan, it's over on Drum Dum's channel. If you weren't over there earlier tonight to see that stream, you should go over there and check it out. We had a great time remembering him and honoring his memory, and it was just great. If you want to go over there and support his cause, CP actually put a link, I don't know if it's in the description of that video, but to a GoFundMe for Dylan's funeral preparations. It was just a good time remembering a great friend. So if you want to go over there and watch the stream, I highly suggest it. On to the topic of the video. Today we're going to talk about 4, that's right, 4 horror movies that I actually like. First up is a movie that I've actually already done a video on. That's why I'm doing it first. Yes, I don't like this movie more than I like any of the other ones here, but I've already done a video on this and why it's underrated. And if you know where that came from, you know what video that is. That is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. That's right, Angry Mob. I'm at it again. I'm talking about Halloween 5. I actually really like Halloween 5. And I know there's a lot of things that are wrong with it. I know. I actually talked about them in my Halloween 5 review. We got the mute Danielle Harris. We got Jamie Lloyd. We have the killing of Rachel. We have Tina. We have the crazy Loomis. Crazier than ever. Oh my god! He must die, Seth! He must die! Like, there's a lot of shit in Halloween 5. There's a lot of good stuff in Halloween 5, too. I mean, we got the great technical filmmaking. We got the really good performances by Don Shanks and Danielle Harris. They are both amazing in Halloween 5. We got the great look of Halloween 5. I think it is one of the most well-produced films in the entire franchise, in my opinion. I love this movie for that reason and for some other reasons as well. I love the production design. I know people like to bitch about the house, but guess what? They changed it in Halloween 6 too. And I think it fits with the architecture from Halloween 4. I said that in my defending Halloween 5 video, my why I think it's underrated video. I think that Don Shanks is an incredible Michael Myers. I really liked how brutal he was. And I think that Donald Pleasance was great in one of his final roles. I know he did not like this movie, but, you know, I actually kind of like it. I know there are some other people out there that like Halloween 5 as well. And if you don't like it, I think you should give it another try. Next up is one from my boy Wes Craven. If you didn't know, Wes Craven is my favorite director of all time. I have a lot of his movies. I have almost all of them at this point. There's a few that I don't have. But this one is one that I know a lot of people don't like. And I think I know why. I think it's because of the studio interference with this film. And if you know anything about that, you'll know that it's cursed. Yeah. a werewolf movie from Wes Craven. Christina Ricci and fucking written by Kevin Williamson. I don't know if you can read that there or not, but Kevin Williamson wrote this. This is the same guy that wrote The Faculty, the same guy that wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, same guy that wrote Scream. And you think, Wes Craven, Christina Ricci, Kevin Williamson, this movie should be amazing. Not so much. I love it, and I know a lot of people don't. And I know they don't like it for some of the cheesiness in it. They don't like it with the CGI werewolves. They don't like it with, the replacement of Skeet Ulrich. Skeet Ulrich was actually in this movie at one point. He was actually Christina Ricci's love interest in the original film. There is an original version of Cursed out there in the ether somewhere that is complete. All it needs is a little bit of editing and retouching and scoring, and it can be completed and done, and we can actually see the original version of Cursed. I don't know if a lot of people know that story, but yes, Cursed was a victim of studio interference. Big time. I mean, we had practical werewolves in this movie by KMB Effects Group and Greg Nicotero that were completely changed and edited over with CGI. Just like they did with the Thing prequel. You know, that story about them having all these amazing practical effects and all that was glossed over with CGI? Yep, same thing happened with Cursed. All the changes aside, I think that Cursed still is a fun werewolf movie. We don't have too many werewolf movies, too many great werewolf movies. I mean, we have American Werewolf in London. We have The Howling. I fucking love The Howling. The Howling is one of the greatest horror movies of all time, let alone werewolf movies of all time. And, there aren't that many other ones. There aren't that many other ones out there. I happen to be a big fan of Wolves with Lucas Till and Jason Momoa. A lot of people don't know about that movie. I really like that one. Howling 2. And I think Cursed belongs up there because it is an atmospheric film. I think that it is a good horror film. I know it can be a little bit cheesy and it is pretty meta as well, but this is a Wes Craven film. He's been meta quite a few times. If you want to gift yourself with a werewolf movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, check out Cursed. All right, Dylan, this one's for you, buddy. I know, guys. When you see Lords of Salem and Rob Zombie, you usually think of this.
I hope she likes cripples.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
Oh, I'll get the crutches for you.
That's not in Lords of Salem. I will tell you guys, cross my heart, I will tell you that redneck shit is not in this movie. This is the complete opposite of a Rob Zombie film. This movie is dark. This movie is creepy. This movie has great performances. One of which being Sherry Moon Zombie. This is probably the best performance I've ever seen from her as an actress. We have Jeff Daniel Phillips here. We have Bruce Davidson. If you don't know who Bruce Davidson is, I guess that the best thing you would probably remember him from is Insidious 4. He played Elisa Rayner's brother. You got Ken Foree. Ken Foree? Yeah, that's how you say his name. Ken Foree from the original Dawn of the Dead. And in the remake as well. He plays the televangelist. But I don't know why I did keyboards. I think that Lords of Salem is a very underrated film. I think it's a very unjustly hated film. I think it has a great score. I think it has great cinematography. I don't know if it was shot on film or digital, but it looks like film to me. I know Rob Zombie's a very big fan of shooting films on film other than digital. I think that it is an atmospheric film, a dark film, a creepy film, the complete opposite of a Rob Zombie movie. And if you guys want to give Rob Zombie a chance, just one chance as a filmmaker, then you gotta check out Lords of Salem. Okay, so we're going to end on a movie that surprisingly a lot of people don't like. I actually really like this movie compared to all the really, really shitty sequels that there are after this one, and that is Hellraiser 3: Hell on Earth. Yes, guys, I actually really like this movie. And I know what you're going to say. It was the beginning of the end of the franchise. But honestly, I don't think that happened in Hellraiser 3. I think that happened in Hellraiser 4: Bloodlines. Because that movie... oh my god, that movie's ridiculous. Anyway, I think this is the most fun of the Hellraiser movies. You got a really good cast in this one. The names of the actresses are escaping my memory right now. What was her name? Terry Farrell, Paula Marshall. Yeah, there are some actually really good performances in this. I like that we got to see Doug Bradley out of the Pinhead makeup in this movie. He actually got to be a little bit of a different character. He got to do two different things. It was a little bit flashier. It was a little bit more snappily edited. Snappily, is that a word? I don't know. But it really makes me want to drink a Snapple. This was actually the first Hellraiser movie to be released in the 90s. And if you know anything about 90s films, there's a lot of snappy dialogue. There's a very high production in most movies, unless we're talking about like really shoestring budget films. But high production, very well polished, snappy editing, witty dialogue, and all of that is in Hellraiser 3. It can get a little campy at points, but I think it's fun. And to have a fun movie in this series is a breath of fresh air, because I've seen a lot of the sequels, and they're not all terrible, but this one is miles better. And if you think Bloodlines is better than Part 3, then I don't know what's wrong with you, because Part 3 is miles better than Bloodlines. 4 movies that I actually like that a lot of people don't. So what I want to ask from you guys is to let me know down in the comments down below 4 movies that you like that people don't. Alright guys, so if you liked this video from the Cavern of Terror, and this is your first video from the Cavern of Terror, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That way you get notified about all my future motherfucking content. That includes my conclusion of the Final Destination series. We're going to get real serious right now, guys. I'm going to let you know that I'm finally going to finish the franchise. I'm going to do 4 and 5 in one video. After I finish Final Destination 4 and 5, guess what? It is a wide open field of things that I can do. I can do whatever I want afterwards. Am I going to start another fucking huge franchise like Hellraiser? No, I'm not. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, because this is my channel. And if you want to see those videos, hit that subscribe button. If you want to get yourself a badass Cavern of Terror t-shirt, not this is Studio House Designs, their link is in that description box. But if you want to get yourself a badass Cavern of Terror t-shirt, make sure you check out the Cavern of Terror Spreadshirt store. Me and the man Woody Bowen, that's worked with Cody Leach, that's worked with Drum Dums, that's worked with Brian Lomax. Guess what? He worked with me too, and we came up with some amazing ideas for Cavern of Terror merch. So head over there and get yourself a motherfucking t-shirt. You guys don't have to, but seriously, get yourself a t-shirt. And if you want to follow me on social media, guess what, guys? All those links are in the motherfucking description box down below as well. And most importantly, guys, I'm Zach. This has been the Cavern of Terror, and that is way too fucking bright. Stay metal, my friends.
3, 2, 1.